my biggest problem with the side characters and everything was just Vanessa. There wasn't a good reason for them to break up. It wasn't necessary. He like loved her and went back to the past. He went back and turn back time that he did and did everything. And so we're gonna definitely name our kid Cher. Why isn't Cher a baby in the third one? That's my biggest wasted potential moment. Hey guys, welcome to the Basic Nerd Experience. I'm your host with the most that looks like a ghost. There we go. Well, we celebrated our 5th year anniversary this year, so happy birthday to BNE, belated after a month. Dude, it's been 5 years since we've done the Basic Nerd.
Oh, you reached the Blues Clues birthday.
Yeah, we did. I wonder which one of us is going to be Steve.
Who's going to be Josh? Is Josh the other guy that came in?
Yeah,
Josh was the orange one. The
one
with the orange shirt. I don't know what the name of the one with the purple shirt was.
Oh wait, no. His name is Joe. Joe.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Joe was the orange shirt.
Oh, I remember Steve went to college.
He went to college. He was going bald.
I remember. Is that why he left? No,
yeah.
Well, speaking of this, bad segue, but we're here to talk about something very special here. But before we do need to introduce a new guest to our podcast. Mm-hmm. We have Mr. Esteban, who's been with us in high school, so we figured we'd be back to bring someone here. We were talking about some FIU UF football, so figure like, I'm in the minority because, I'm a Gator, but these two went to FIU, so we all went to the same high school, though, so Panther Pride, yeah.
Dude, Esteban and I go way back to the Silver Lakes Elementary days, man. This is like a 20...
Wow. Oh, like way to fucking dox us, man.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Could you tell us the security number while you're at it, too? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you the exact zip.
You want my routing number? I got it right here.
Yeah, man. The check-in number 2 while you're at it. Yeah,
number 2. Yeah. But if you've seen our shorts, you may have seen Esteban earlier in a short when we did the Clone High theme. He provided vocals for that cover. So yeah, this is his inaugural episode debut, but he's been with us here before.
We would have done the full version of the song, but thanks to David Zaslav's pointers, we shelved it for tax purposes.
Yep, exactly. We have to keep it in the vault, never to be seen, unless copyright becomes less of a thing.
No, we just deleted it.
Yeah, that's true. They'll never know. Except,
what are you, Warner Brothers? Yeah, but
yeah. We'll shelf Firefly too. The Batgirl.
I love the
Batgirl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The glorious hellscape that is Warner Brothers.
Oh, you gotta love them.
Yeah. What a way to rediscover them. But we're not going to be Warner Brothers. We're going to talk about a movie that did come out recently that just been earned $1 billion in the box office, and that is Deadpool and Wolverine. In the short episode,
better than Jesus.
Marvel Jesus.
Better than Jesus.
And the first Marvel Jesus, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, is back in action as Wolverine, and there's a lot of goodness in this thing. So it's Esteban, this is your inaugural episode. Yeah. Let's get right to it. So what do you like about this movie? What don't you like about this movie? What's going on?
It was very gubernatorial. I think
are we talking about an election? Or are we talking about sorry.
It was a good film. It was a sort of breath of fresh air that has been missing from Disney Marvel for a few years.
Since like No Way Home.
I think it all really leads to the fact that this film at its heart is a passion project. Like Ryan Reynolds, you can really feel it that he cares so much about this character. And he has managed to keep the quality of the Deadpool movies pretty consistent despite the Fox buyout, which a lot of people were concerned that if once Disney took the reins that it wasn't going to be as good. But I feel like it was honestly more of the same. It was a phenomenal, hilarious movie full of amazing references, and just his style of comedy is kind of unique in that he really is just himself as Deadpool.
I would say that, he really, like, since 2015, he has embodied, I would say even since 2009, he's been embodying Deadpool.
Yeah, especially to see where he's like doing the dual katana thing. He's like, all right, people are dead.
And he brings the move back for Deadpool 2 against Cable, which I thought was a good throwback.
That was hilarious.
But the funny thing is that all the bullets stayed with
He
him.
still hit him.
But yeah, no, it is a breath of fresh air. I do feel with this movie, and it kind of feels like it's you know, the I can go into I have a couple negatives, but we can get that later. But like first impressions, I've only seen this film once, but I want to see it again. Esteban is right. Breath of fresh air. I definitely felt like it was a movie that Marvel needed. In a while, I can't remember the last time Marvel. I guess Far From Home or No Way Home is the last time a Marvel movie brought home $1 billion.
Oh
So that's
yeah,
what they definitely needed. So I think it was a good push. Um, I definitely do think that this movie was very like good for Disney to like let Deadpool and Wolverine like, hey, you do your thing, so we won't get in the way. We'll let you know, and it's been fun. And I definitely do think that it's a movie where you don't have to watch. Maybe you want to watch the first two Deadpool movies, but like you don't have to really watch all the movies to kind of know what's going on. Like I think arguably if you just want to watch a good fun dumb movie, it's not dumb. Well, it's a fun, you don't take it seriously kind of movie.
it's got dumb moments in it.
Exactly. And
well, that's the point.
yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously, but it's still like a good movie. Meanwhile, there's a lot of movies that MCU has made that take themselves way too seriously. It's like, why are we're looking at you, She-Hulk, but it just it gets annoying when it's just they can't like even the golden era of MCU. Even if a movie was decent, that would be considered like the worst movie. Like Thor: Dark World, I remember was like the worst movie, but it actually was
people
a
ragged on
decent
Thor
movie.
2 for
I remember
people
that being the
really
worst
ragged on
movie.
Thor 2.
Yeah, and then Thor: Love and Thunder came out, and then
Oh my
yeah.
Well, ironically enough, Thor 2 is actually very integral to Endgame.
I know.
It is. I did not expect that actually. Yeah.
And I mean, props to them for going back and taking the film that I feel like the least amount of people watched and making it kind of the linchpin for the finale of Endgame. But the Deadpool also very much felt like that sort of swan song love letter to the quirky, campy weirdness of the Fox Marvel movies. Especially with the credit sequence. That was the bloopers. That was a nice
Green
touch.
Day was playing in the background, you know, like good riddance, but we love you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this time it's not like good riddance, fuck you. It's good riddance, we needed.
Yeah.
It's that sort of melancholy, like end of high school, say goodbye to everyone you've ever known kind of feeling. And I mean, Deadpool's going to Disneyland now.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. I went to D23 and he was like part of the big stage and he was part of everything and he made jokes like dude.
I was very surprised at some of the movies they referenced. Like I was expecting Fantastic Four reference. I was expecting hardcore X-Men references, but like having Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, having
Blade,
Wesley Snipes. You got freaking about make a name for myself.
Yeah, and you got Channing all over your Tatum as freaking Gambit, a movie that hasn't even come out. That's insane.
I don't think it's ever gonna get made. I'm gonna be real with you. I feel for Channing Tatum because that was fucking funny.
You know how long I've been waiting for
that movie's been in development hell since 2016, my dude. Like
I don't know, but this might now be the push they needed to do that. Like this is
I would hope.
This this man made another my name is Jeff moment. So
if he can somehow like fucking Mr. Magoo his way into being the MCU Gambit, that would be phenomenal.
Incredible. Yes.
I think they can get it done. And I think he was funny. And I like going back with the humor of Deadpool. I think this is, in my opinion, the humor gets better with each movie. Like the third one, the best. Like the opening sequence of the ba ba ba, he's like beating the shit out of everybody with like
straight up, and then just an entire sequence of him doing the entire dance from the In Sync video.
I know, like, it's great.
It was so iconic that they shut and sync back up to the charts, man.
Yeah, and I do have to say, it was a very like as a person who read comic books well before the MCU was a thing. I think it was hilarious. A lot of the people's reactions online to like, oh well, does this mean Logan doesn't matter anymore? And like my immediate thought was like, well, welcome to comic books, buddy.
Yeah.
Marvel resets the entire canon like every few years. So stuff that you spend money and read and get really into could mean absolutely nothing in a matter of months. Like that's how it works.
Like Logan takes place in 2027, and this movie is from 2024. That's the continuity error. But do you see anybody mentioning it? No, like it's a little detail, absolutely, but it's dumb little details like that you kind of overlook due to the suspension of disbelief not being broken because there are legitimate stakes here. Like Deadpool treats, like, for all the jokes that he makes, Deadpool does treat the situation very seriously. He doesn't want to lose his friends and family.
And
he also completely decimates, literally and figuratively, the memory of Logan by beating the living shit out of a bunch of people with his literal corpse, which honestly is something that I think is a very solid symbol for the state of comic book movies right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Beating it with a dead horse or dead Wolverine.
Yeah. A dead Wolverine.
Yeah, no, it was great though.
No, it's fun, and it's definitely explosively like it's just a good it's just good to go back and watch a good fun dumb movie. But I will say this, the biggest weakness I think I have of this movie is how they treat the original side characters of the first two films.
Yeah, like Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Yukio. How could you sideline Yukio, bro?
I know.
Yukio.
How could you sideline this shit? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the.
Go ahead.
That was always going to be a difficult part. Is when an ensemble gets that big, you're always going to lose people in the mix.
Yeah.
And I think to a degree, you do lose a bit that all the original characters were kind of there for what were essentially cameos. But at the same point, I think that was kind of the point of the film, because Deadpool is presented with this ultimatum of abandon everything you've ever known, but you're an MCU Avenger, or get deleted.
Or suffer the same fate of being forgotten forever. Yeah.
But I don't like how him and Vanessa broke up for no reason.
Yeah, I hate the fact that issue got sidelined. Like I get that there's a whole bunch of stuff to go through. There's a big world-ending event, but like Vanessa and freaking Wade, like that relationship was a big core of the original trilogy. You know what I mean? Of the two movies. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But I do think that it doesn't make sense. I also just felt like it didn't really serve a purpose. Like, even if they were just still together, and I'm not saying you have to, you don't have to have like all of them like as much, because you're packing a lot of stuff. This is definitely an important movie, so obviously you want those characters in. But like, you have got Peter Poole, and you got what's the name of the cab driver?
Dopinder.
Dopinder. Yeah, that guy's
Dopinder.
Yeah, but like, still bring him into a way. I just didn't. My biggest problem with the side characters and everything was just Vanessa. There wasn't a good reason for them to break up. It wasn't necessary. He like loved her and went back to the past. He went back and turn back time that he did and did everything. And so we're gonna definitely name our kid Cher. Why isn't Cher a baby in the third one? That's my biggest wasted potential moment of that. So just
I think
our kid Cher, like that would have been funny. Like anyways, but yeah.
I think that as much as the relationship with Vanessa did kind of make the entire emotional point of the first two movies, in a way it was still kind of present in the third movie, but I think it's another victim of like, do you want him to have another raunchy comedy with the ensemble and it's just him cracking jokes and making innuendos with his girlfriend and Blind Al, or do you want him to explore the MCU? I don't think there was really a way to have this movie and just have Vanessa follow him around the whole time.
Yeah,
like, I think. I mean, granted, it was very shoehorned. That like, they're just divorced now.
I don't. That's my biggest thing. Like, it's fine, like to like only being like in a few scenes, like to see how they're doing. And I like that Peter Poole came back and was like the savior of the Deadpools at the end. Like that was great. But it didn't like. I just felt like the moments when like it was supposed to be like, oh, I'm seeing somebody else. Oh, good, that's good. No, like get back to like again, like get
Yeah.
the like again, get Vanessa, like get
Get her,
Cher.
yeah, get
Vanessa's
her
taking
back.
care of Cher, or I'm gonna go take care of Cher. You go like talk to the people that look like uh Tron off-brand like uniforms and doing
The
that stuff.
TVA buttons.
The TVA people. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and like, yeah, but I'm not treating as kind of tense as that as I feel watching Deadpool like kind of have this demeanor of like he's down on his luck. He got rejected by Happy Hogan of all people from joining the Avengers, and I get that. You're down on your luck, you lost faith in yourself. Okay, that's fine. And my suspension of disbelief wasn't broken because it in a way it shows Deadpool in a little bit more of a vulnerable state where he doesn't have all the wisecracking jokes that you think he might have. He has some depth to him, and I think that's why it forced me to actually no, like it encouraged me to be in his shoes a little bit. Like you lost confidence. Of course, you're gonna lose people along the way. It's just sucks that it's Vanessa. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand Esteban's point because what else is Vanessa gonna do?
yeah.
Like follow him everywhere towards these death defying like events, like with Charles Xavier's sister trying to kill you everywhere, and you have Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, over here, and all the freaking characters from X-Men First Class, X2 inside Ant-Man's dead ass corpse over there, that's time and place, time and place.
I will say I have to give props to the actress that plays Cassandra. She really knocked it out of the park as the villain.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. I agree. No, she's actually a legitimate threat. Like at first, like this movie does something that I didn't expect.
Mhm.
Like it unlike Ryan Johnson, it subverted my expectations in that it allowed her to become vulnerable in a way, like she became sympathetic. Logan, like when she was trying to manipulate Logan of all people, right? And then they trick her by actually putting Magneto's helmet on her, right? And at first it seems like she's gonna help them, but no, she's actually a legitimate threat. She wants to erase all of time so that she can recreate it. Like it's the same thing with the Edge of Time thing, except I think here it's a little bit more interesting because it's Xavier's sister, someone that's so good, so flawed, but really good, right? Has a sibling that's the complete polar opposite. I find that endlessly fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought she was very formidable.
Yeah, it almost was kind of disappointing that she kind of, to a degree, was defeated at the end of the film. I feel like she could have definitely had staying power as like a recurring villain.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say it does? Because the rules of comic books, unless there's a body, they're not dead, and even then, there's still a chance they'll come back.
You sound like you want Mace Windu back in Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding.
I know Samuel L. Jackson wants Mace Windu back in Star Wars.
In Star Wars Theory, every video he does, yeah.
He's not getting any younger. TikTok, motherfucker, yeah.
That's right. But to wrap up like this short episode here, what would you say is your favorite moment of the movie, each of you?
Esteban?
100% the Madonna sequence.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, I was like, I did not think there was a way for him to match the Celine Dion song from Deadpool 2, but he really knocked it out of the park with the Madonna sequence. And I just want to know what kind of musical they had to promise Hugh Jackman to have an entire sequence around his greased up abs.
Every single one that he could imagine, because he's gonna be there until he's 90, bro.
Till he's 90.
Greatest showman on earth.
Greatest show. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have morbid curiosity to see if the Honda Odyssey, if that was an actual paid advertisement, or if they just did that. Did Honda pay for that advertisement?
I have a feeling it's both. I don't know. There's got some writer loves the shit or hates their fucking Honda Odyssey. Like somebody had a personal vendetta against
It's
this
a
thing.
power fantasy where they beat the
Because
shit out of their
it was
Honda.
just one of those things that it had perfect framing. Part of that sequence, it felt like a Honda commercial, but then they just beat the living shit out of this car and absolutely destroy it and do the most heinous, homoerotic fight scene in the side of a minivan. And then,
Pretty hot.
I could
was it
feel
an
the
ad?
sexual tension between
Was
them.
it not an ad?
I think
That was
I think
massive.
it was an ad, but for something different, my man. I don't think it was
I
for
think
the
that's less.
reasons they intended it to be.
I think this is like art. It's left to interpretation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had to go to the bathroom after that one, but yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. It was really good. It like I think my favorite scene in the movie has to be the interactions between Gambit, Elektra, Blade, Logan, Deadpool, and X-23. I
Yeah.
can't believe that she came back. I love Daphne Keene and I love X-23. I'm kind of a new reader to X-23, but I love her character. I think she's very fascinating.
I also love just the dialogue between like just again like the Deadpool and Gambit where it's like, say that again, Sugar Bear. What did you say? They call me the Gambit, and then he just keeps talking, and he's like, "Who's your dialect coach? The Minions? Like, why are you speaking like?"
Well, I mean, that was his whole bit was that he wanted a uh, accent accurate Gambit,
Oh yeah,
and
well
that because
he's
they,
Cajun and he's from New
yeah, yeah,
Orleans, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah.
and that listen, if they let an actual Cajun play Gambit, that's what we're gonna get.
No, that's perfect. It's just
Yeah.
it's great.
You just make sure
I will
everybody
say,
know what happened here that day.
yeah. Well,
Gosh.
my name is Elliot, and I'm here to say that my favorite moment. It's gonna sound really stupid. It is. I like the whole movie. I don't have a like. Okay, the only problem I have is just the Vanessa thing. I love a lot of scenes in this movie. There's a lot of memorable scenes. Like I can't like. There's so many to
Mhm.
count. The montage of like the different Logans they go to, for example.
Even
I
Henry Cavill is
Oh
fucking
my
Logan
god,
oh
too.
my god,
the
freaking
the Cavill
cavalry. Yeah,
Logan, the Cavalrine, that was
Cavalry,
a
man.
deep cut.
I love that. I also love like, oh my god, it's the comic accurate Wolverine. You little
Oh yes,
short king,
for
you. Yeah.
everybody that bitches and moans that the comic books need to look more like, or like the movies need to look more like the actual comics, you point to that. You
Yeah.
point to that,
Yeah.
and you say, "Hey, this is why we have interpretation." Because if we
Yes.
had a 5 foot nothing, weird, stout little man as Wolverine, oh, it would never work.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this episode, I just want to say that it was definitely a fun movie. It was a fun
Yeah.
blast of the past movie that I could definitely say calls its own. I think the different jokes they have is great. I think that it's good that Disney allowed them to kind of like let them be an R-rated movie, let them do this. And I think that it does show that Disney, I think is kind of I'm not saying Marvel is completely back yet. Like let's see how they do with other Marvel properties in the
Right.
future. But I could
Oh,
definitely say it's a good
they have
start.
quite the gauntlet ahead of themselves trying to deal with what to do with the rest of Phase 6.
And
Oh
it's an infinity
boy.
gauntlet because there's endless possibilities with this gauntlet.
Yeah, they're facing a brave
Ooh.
new world out there, man. Fuck.
I'm excited for that shit. That's actually
Red,
I'm
Red
actually very
Hulk,
excited for
man.
Yeah,
that movie.
Brave New World has me hyped. Um,
We don't
we'll
need
see
that
what
stupid
happens.
show that
I'm
the
also I have to say, I'm hyped for Fantastic Four. I love that they're doing
yeah,
the Silver Age comic book accurate
yeah,
suits.
Yes.
I
man.
don't care that
Yes.
people are shitting on it. We need more campy comic book movies.
Why are they
Agreed.
shitting on
Agreed. Let's stop taking the comic book movies so seriously, man. Seriously, make more campy movies like those. I love them.
exactly?
Mhm.
Like us, we don't take ourselves seriously, but we do take it very seriously that you guys listen. So thank you very much for guys listening. We appreciate that. Normally it's a very longer episode, but it's good that we're just doing a short, fun, condensed one to get back out there consistently. Esteban, it is fun to have you on here. We are
Fun to be
teasing
here.
to have you back for the acolyte discussion because we
Hell
had
yeah.
selected to do that. This is a public announcement, the public service announcement to tell Andres
Uh,
to start watching the show, bro.
I'm starting. I'm starting it already. God damn.
yeah, even though it's already been canned, but
I know
Already
it's
can.
it's already been canned, but that gives me
it's worth a watch.
It's worth
okay,
the
more
watch.
time for me to watch it then. Perfect. Perfect. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna procrastinate this time.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and
Well,
keep an eye out for more covers coming out, man, with your boy Elliot and your boy Esteban, man. We're doing it.
exactly.
I
All
can
right,
feel it,
guys.
Mr. Krabs.
We can feel it now, Mr. Krabs. Esteban, thank you so much for coming on today.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
And to everybody out there, thank you so much. And Andres, piece of advice. What's a quick piece of advice for people to look out for? You tell people to wear protection while traveling. What quick piece of advice do you have for people?
If you're traveling through the TVA, don't use protection because they can go back in time and do it anyways. That's my one piece of advice. Take it, man. Trust me, there's no consequences.